Welcome to Notability, specifically web clips and stickies. The goals for this tutorial are how to import a web clip, annotating a web clip, working with stickies, and different types of stickies. The first thing that we're going to focus on in this tutorial is using web clips. I'm going to start out by creating a new note. I'm going to tap on the plus sign in the upper right hand corner, and I'm going to click on the icon web clip. When this icon appears, I can either enter in a URL or I can go to my bookmarks and tap on Wikipedia or Google. I do have a URL that I'm going to use, so I'm going to use www.periodictable.com. This is the website of Theodore Gray, who takes really cool images of elements on the periodic table. I like this image, so I'd like to use it in my notability note. Once I'm satisfied with my web clip, I'm going to click the Done button, and it will appear in my note. From here, I can click on the top tab and move it around the screen. I have the same options available to me from what I saw with other figures, so I can delete it, copy it, cut it, disable text wrap. If I wanted to go back to the browser, all I'd have to do is hit on the browser key, and that would take me back directly to the website, and I can edit it. So if I click on the edit button, we can see as before, we have the ability to crop it, we have the ability to add a line, or a straight line, or a shape, or even adding text. If I wanted to annotate my picture, what I could do is tap on the color box, choose the color that I'd like to use for writing on my web clip, make sure that the size of the line is what I want it to be, so relatively small. Click on that icon again, and then I could go through and circle certain groups and say, hey, this is the group 1 metals, or this is the halogens, and then I could embed that right into my web clip. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to click Done, and it will appear right in my note, and then I can expand that and use it as part of my note. So that's just a little bit about how to use web clips in your notability notes. The last type of figure that we're going to talk about is the use of a sticky. So I'm going to create a new note again. I'm going to tap on the plus button, and I'm going to tap the stickies icon. When the stickies icon comes up, there are 4 different types that I can use. A blank, one with lines, a grid, or typing, which is basically the same thing as a text box. I'm going to just touch and drag. And from here, I can move my sticky around the screen. I can change the paper. Maybe I want a pink background or a green background. And then to this, I can also do what the other stickies represent, like putting lines in, making the lines a little bit wider apart. I could add a grid to this, whole bunch of different options, but I'm just going to go back to plain paper. Once I have this on here, I can use the annotation tools at the top to add to my sticky. So maybe a quick note like Q is equal to MC delta T. Once I'm happy with how my sticky looks, I can tap on the text icon, tap on my note, I can move it around again. So I think I'll move it over here and shrink it down a little bit. Let's look at some other different type of stickies that are available. So I'm going to hit the plus button, hit stickies. This time I'm going to go for lines, move that one over here. Again, like you saw before, we can change the paper color, we can change the different types of lines on that. So the stickies icon basically brings up a bunch of different types of stickies that you can include, including, like I've said before, just a plain old text box that you bring up and you can move around and type in around your note. And that is a little bit of how to use stickies in a notability note.